Alright guys, did a new video today. This is the first video I've done of my 2008 Mustang GT. I'll do a quick intro, get into more detail later, but I bought this late September, about 6 months ago. Actually 6 months ago to the day. And it was bone stock. It was a one owner, 131,000 miles. It's vapor silver. It's a black leather, 5-speed. The owner was a lady a little bit older than me, like mid-age. She bought it brand new here in Utah, and basically kept it entirely stock the whole time she's owned it. And I immediately began to buy up parts. So I kind of went into it wanting a clean. I would have taken a car that had mods on it, but they were a little bit hard to come by in a clean condition. So I picked this one up. I paid $8,800. After tax and registration, it was $9,500. Honestly, I feel like, and I've seen a couple videos on YouTube, these 2005 to 2009, you can throw in 2010 in there when they did the facelift, is one of the best budget sports cars, muscle cars, whatever you want to call it, that's available today. Just, you know, what you get and what can be done to the car is pretty cool. So I have basically copied my brother and the stick axle gang, some of his track buddies in California, and I'm actually running the same exact wheels and tires as my brother. I'm actually running this rear spoiler that he made out of fiberglass. He went and upgraded to a big track wing. But today I've got the SVE axle backs showed up, just a short muffler section. So what I was going to do is give you a quick overview here, give you a look of what the stock rusted out mufflers look and sound like on a startup. And then we'll do an after, and we'll listen to the new mufflers. So it's definitely too quiet right now. So hoping to spice up the look and sound of this thing. So let me give you a quick rundown of what I've done. I've taken it from totally bone stock. The base of what I've done is the Maximum Motorsports ROAD&TRACK grip kit for the S197, for the 05 to 14. I think it's a different part number for the 05 to 10. Probably a few minor differences. But that comes with their KONI yellow single adjustable shocks and struts. Comes with their Maximum Motorsports specific lowering springs, which are a progressive rate in the high 200 pound spring rate to mid upper 300s. A little bit stiffer in the front, obviously, for the nose weight up there. Then that comes with the springs and shocks with adjustable lower control arms, tubular bars, which I think you can see. Adjustable PANHARD bar. And then I upgraded the upper third member to the Kenny Brown Performance piece. You can also see the lower control arm lowering brackets. It moves the mounting point about 2 inches down. What else? I removed the rear sway bar. That was recommended by everyone. And also, so then I'll tell you about the front. That kit comes with a 36 millimeter EIBACH front sway bar with poly bushings. You can see I've upgraded the brakes. I did the Rock Auto special, 4-piston, 14-inch front brakes that come with either the 0709 GT500, the, 12 and 13 Boss 302, and then the 11 to 14 if you got the Performance Pack Brembo upgrade. It's a off-brand essentially that Rock Auto sells. So I picked up the front brakes, including rotors, which were like $13 a piece. They were like the last item on the shelf or something, like super cheap. So I picked those up and I did the POWERSTOP track day front pads, which are exactly what my brother's running, along with POWERSTOP's stainless steel brake line kit. And you probably not gonna be able to see it. And then to run, and so then I'll go over, let's see, anything else in the front? Yes, up front I also ran the CORTEX Racing BUMPSTEER kit and CORTEX Racing front SWAYBAR ENDLINKS, adjustable ENDLINKS. And then while I was in there, I have photos of like the whole front end was just empty up here on both sides. I also, while I was in there, went with the S197 GT500 front control arms, which are much stronger, bigger ball joint, and like better bushing. I don't know if it's poly bushing. It may be. I can't remember if they actually like advertise that specifically. They talked about upgraded bushing. Let's see, is that everything? And then the kit, the Maximum Motorsports kit, also comes with adjustable caster camber plates, which I've maxed out without modifying the strut top opening. It gives you, basically gave me 2.1 degrees of negative camber up front, and then I pushed it kind of back into and as far to the corner as I could to maximize the caster as well. And then I picked up from Late Model Restoration this little front lip. It was literally the last one they had in stock, so that was kind of cool. Like a nice, cheap, fits well, really improves the look. The one damage you can see right here is the fender, and I've actually picked up from LMR a new OEM front fender. I've also picked up a new OEM rear bumper, so it just has a couple minor, it's got that big scratch, and then it's got this, like, you can see here, it's just crumpled, and it's because it's plastic, it's not going to come back, the paint's cracked. So I picked up a new bumper, a new fender, and I'm contemplating picking up a new front bumper because the driver's side corner light, if I can find that, show you. It's the mount for the light on the front's busted. There was some duct tape, and when I was putting the lip on, I noticed it, and the tape was just like dry and old and not holding anymore. So I could duct tape it, I could try and glue something on there, but I could just also pick up, while I'm painting body parts, I could just pick up a front bumper and get a nice clean. I mean, it's overall in decent shape. I also picked up some new headlights. These are not them. Once I fixed the fender, it actually cracked the mounting bracket on the headlight, so they don't look bad actually, but that one's broken, so I upgraded to, it's like a similar look. It's like matte. I can see these are like gloss. The Tiger Shark design in there is gloss. I picked up, they're like matte, but they're basically an OEM replacement. And then wheels and tires are the SVE R357 in a 19x11 square. It's a +50 offset. And I went with the Continental ECFs, the Extreme Contact Force, in a 295/30/19 square. So to run that up front, if you go on like apex.com, the company that makes the nice track wheels for Mustangs and lots of other cars, they have a nice fitment guide that's helpful. They talk about needing to run a spacer and more camber. I think they quote on there you need to run like 2.75 degrees of negative camber in a 19mm spacer. I'm running a CORTEX 19mm spacer. And like I said, the 2.1 degrees of negative camber, and it fits. There's no rubbing lock to lock. I've driven the car on normal roads. I went 100 miles the other day to a baseball game, and no rubbing. Let's see, I remembered a couple of things. So you see the extended studs here to run the spacer. I actually just went with LMR has brand new Ford hubs with ARP. I think they're 3-inch long extended studs as like an assembled kit all ready to rock. So I think those were like $400 for the set, for the pair. And I feel like that was a nice upgrade. The car's got 130,000 miles, so good time to do that. Just showed up today, the little stubby antenna there. I've got a couple little minor things that I can have some dentless, paintless, I always say it that wrong, a paintless dent repair guy maybe can come out and help me get some of these little bumps straightened out, but that's pretty much it. So let me do a quick startup of the stock mufflers, and then we'll put the new ones on. There you go, cold start. Honestly, it sounds pretty good. You know, for a OEM muffler setup. I wonder if part of that is because they are old, and when I was working on the car, drove it to my friend's garage, put it up on the lift, it was like dripping out of the front seams are rusted out, so it may be a little noisier than they were intended to be stock. Also did this black vinyl that my brother put on when he came up and did the spoiler. All right, so I think that's it for now. We'll get the new mufflers on. Okie doke, we are halfway home. The first muffler in. And what I ended up having to do is remove the hangers, 2 bolts on this one, 3 bolts on the forward one on the driver's side. And on the other side, it's 2 bolts, 2 bolts. LMR, of course, sent me 1 clamp, so the 1 clamp is on this first side. And this muffler on the driver's side, the clamp is tack welded on. So, you know, for 2 seconds, I'm like, oh, I gotta buzz that off. And then I'm like, well, let me just try removing the hangers altogether. And that got me home. So now on the passenger side, got the hangers off, the muffler's out, getting ready to put the other one in. What's interesting is the clamp on this side was not tack welded on. So luckily, LMR is sending me another one, but that's a few days away and I want to get the sucker in. So we are going with the factory clamp on this side. More to come. Okay, we're on the passenger side, wrapping it up. What's interesting is on the passenger side, the two hangers are the same, they're like the same part number. Whereas on the driver's side, the forward hanger is a 3-bolt different design. So found that interesting. These mufflers being, you know, smaller in dimensions are much easier to work with. To get this passenger side muffler off the factory one, you gotta stick your ratchet up here, and it's basically like you gotta pull the muffler down to get the ratchet in there, and then push the muffler back up so that you can keep the socket on the bolt while you loosen it. Anyway, this part of things is much smoother, more access. So I've got the hangers just starting to tighten things down, and as I go, I kind of check the back fitment here. So honestly, it's looking pretty dang good, and I've still got a ways to go to tighten it. So we'll keep working it. All right, we wrapped up the install. While I'm under here, I thought I'd show you around the rear suspension. Maximum Motorsports springs, KONI yellow. You can see there's a new bump stop that comes with the kit. I think it's shorter and stiffer bump stop, and the Kenny Brown lower mounting brackets, lower control arms, and the PANHARD rod. And what's interesting was I think I mentioned, the clamp on the passenger side of the wasn't spot welded, so I was able to use it, luckily, because LMR forgot one of the clamps. I think that's it around here. Let me see if I can give you a peek of you can just catch a glimpse of the Kenny Brown upper third member. And yeah, that was kind of a pain. We had to drop the gas tank to get the original one out of there. All right, let's fire it up. Keys, who's got the keys? I'm stoked. Talking. That's nice. Oh yeah, loving that. Whew, test drive time. All right, some driving impressions. Sounds great. Definitely improvement over stock. Gonna go check some, windows up on the highway speed, see what that sounds like. Sec to think about it. Probably can't hear it. Pretty quiet with the windows up. I'm digging it. I think that's going to be a wrap.